The movie begins in a massive stadium in South Korea, filled with thousands of screaming fans. Everyone is shouting with excitement, waiting for the famous K-pop group Huntrix to start their big show. But what none of these fans know is that these girls are not just singers. Behind the lights and music, they are also warriors, hunters of demons. Long ago, demons used to invade the human world. They stole people's souls, turning them into their slaves, and gathered that stolen power for their leader, a terrifying demon named Guima, so he could grow stronger. But the demons were stopped centuries ago by 3 legendary magical warriors. These warriors used the power of their voices to create a barrier called Hanmoon, a shield strong enough to protect the world. Since then, in every new generation, 3 warrior singers are chosen to continue that mission and keep the darkness away. Celine, one of the guardians of this tradition, reminds her 3 students, Rumi and her 2 friends, that it is now their duty to strengthen the final barrier and make it unbreakable. Rumi listens carefully and, with determination in her heart, gathers her courage to accept this mission. That evening, the stadium fills to the brim with fans for the last concert of the Hunters World Tour. The group's manager, nervously, watching the clock, notices the trio still hasn't arrived. Worried, he makes a call to find out where they are. Up above the city, inside their private jet, Rumi and her friends are happily eating a mountain of food. They know they need energy before their last big performance. Just then, Rumi's phone rings. It's the manager. As she answers, the manager anxiously asks where they are, but before the conversation can continue, fans nearby snatch his phone, desperate to hear the girls' voices. After he gets it back, he yells angrily, demanding to know why they're late. Rumi looks out the window and realizes something is wrong. They've flown right past the stadium. The flight crew shows no reaction, pretending nothing unusual is happening. Suspicion grows in Rumi's eyes. She hangs up the call and immediately confronts one of the flight attendants. With sharp confidence, she declares she knows this is a trap and that the attendants are not who they seem. When she grabs one attendant's arm, strange demonic marks glow on her skin. The attendants drop their disguise, revealing their true monstrous forms. With chilling voices, they announce their plan to attack the stadium and slaughter the fans waiting below. Enraged, Rumi and her friends refuse to let that happen. They stand tall, their voices resonating with the magical power of Hanmoon. Using the vibration of their songs, they begin to unleash their strength. Even something as ordinary as a thermos is transformed into a weapon in their hands. Then, calling forth their true weapons, ancient instruments forged from Hanmoon energy, they strike down the demons with fierce precision. The battle is intense but quick, and soon most of the monsters are destroyed. Yet some manage to escape, tearing pieces from the plane as they vanish into the sky, heading straight for the stadium. Without hesitation, Rumi and her friends finish the last of their noodles for energy, then leap from the jet into the open air. Their fall is not a fall at all. They soar gracefully, landing directly on the concert stage just as the lights blaze on. The crowd thinks it's part of the show, screaming with joy, but the girls immediately engage the remaining monsters in battle. Their blades clash, their voices echo, and one by one, the creatures fall. The stage is safe, the fans are cheering, and the hunters stand victorious. But this is only the beginning of their fight. Their fans cheer louder than ever, not realizing that something miraculous is happening before their eyes. For the first time, a piece of the Hanmoon barrier glows with a dazzling golden light, spreading across the skies above the stadium. At the end of the show, that glow grows brighter and forms a massive shield, stretching wide across the horizon. This barrier is so powerful that it stops any more monsters from entering the human world. But deep in the shadows of the underworld, far away from the celebration, one of the demons who had escaped from the airplane kneels before Guima. Her voice trembles as she admits she could not stop the girls, that they were too strong, too fearless. Guima's eyes burn with rage. In a single furious gesture, he engulfs her in flames, reducing her to ashes. His voice echoes with hatred as he roars that failure will not be tolerated. The other demons in the hall fall silent, their bodies shaking in fear. Suddenly, a young demon named Jinu steps forward, playing a banjo with eerie calm. A monstrous tiger walks beside him, followed by a band of loyal followers. Guima narrows his eyes and demands to know what Jinu is planning. Jinu replies with a sly smile. He has a new idea, and this time, it might finally bring the Hunter warriors down. He explains that Hanmoon's power is tied to the energy of their fans, to the belief and devotion that people give them. If the demons create a fake idol group, one that could steal away the love of those fans, then the Hanmoon's power will weaken and eventually collapse. Guima laughs at the absurdity of the plan at first, but then, with dark amusement, allows Jinu to proceed. He leans forward and asks what Jinu wants in return for this scheme. Jinu pauses, his smile fading for the first time. After a moment of silence, he answers softly. He only wants his old memories erased. Back at the stadium, the three hunters stand proudly, their hearts stronger after witnessing the golden light of Hanmoon. They thank their manager, wave goodbye to their fans, and return to their hidden headquarters. Inside, the exhaustion finally hits them. Rumi's friends rush to the kitchen, happily grabbing armfuls of sweets before collapsing onto the couch. Rumi, however, remains focused. She insists their new album must be released quickly. Only then can the golden Hanmoon shine brighter, protecting the world forever. She walks to her wardrobe and looks at the new costumes for their next world tour, already imagining the battles ahead. Rumi playfully sneaks in. When the others see her, they panic, worried that she will ruin the sacred costume before the performance. In the middle of this chaos, the manager enters the room with exciting news. Their new album is already streaming worldwide, and fans everywhere are listening. Even though the girls are tired, this news fills them with renewed energy. Days later, the Huntrix appear at a live studio for a major interview. Cameras flash, fans scream, and the trio announces their next concert will take place very soon, with brand new songs waiting for their audience. As her friends head to rehearsal, Rumi steps into her private dressing room. She looks in the mirror and freezes. Strange, demonic scars are spreading faintly across her arms. Her chest tightens, but she forces herself to push the thought away. She changes into her costume and joins her friends, hiding the marks beneath the glitter and fabric. When the recording starts, everything seems fine, until Rumi opens her mouth to sing. Her voice suddenly cracks, breaking in the middle of the song. Shocked, she stops and asks the producer to start over. They try again, but her voice breaks a second time. Confused and embarrassed, Rumi demands a short 5-minute break. The manager's nerves spike. Outside, thousands of fans are already waiting for the concert to begin, and any delay could cause chaos. Rumi retreats to her dressing room, her hands trembling as she unzips her costume. To her horror, the scars are spreading across her shoulders and up her neck. They are twisting her voice, corrupting it. Panic sets in, and she runs out of the building, racing through the streets of the city. As she runs, a memory floods her mind, a conversation with her mentor, Celine. In that memory, Celine revealed the truth. Rumi is the daughter of a powerful demon, but her mother was a demon hunter who fell in love with that demon, and from their bond, Rumi was born. Though she carries demonic blood, she is not like the monsters. Her scars, Celine explained, will disappear forever once the golden Hanmoon shines completely. But Rumi must keep her secret hidden no matter what. If anyone were to learn the truth, even her closest friends, everything would fall apart. Haunted by this memory, Rumi keeps running through the night, her heart heavy with fear and doubt. Rumi finally climbs to the roof of a tall building. She stands there under the night sky and tries to sing, desperate to bring her voice back to life. But no matter how many times she sings the lyrics, her song breaks apart, never coming out the way it should. Her frustration builds until she screams in anger. That scream is so powerful it creates a massive sonic wave that shakes the rooftop. Shocked and frightened by her own strength, Rumi falls silent. Hours later, exhausted, she returns home and faces her friends. She admits that her voice is deteriorating, and fear grips her heart. One of her friends gently consoles her and promises that there may be a way to fix it. The next morning, the three girls disguise themselves and walk through the busy streets of the city. They take Rumi to a special doctor who gives her a unique throat medicine. But as they step out of the clinic, they suddenly notice a group of handsome young boys walking toward them. The girls stop in their tracks, mesmerized by their looks, almost enchanted as if it is love at first sight. But when Rumi accidentally bumps into one of the boys and falls to the ground, he coldly walks past her. His indifference fills them with anger. The girls quickly help Rumi up, glaring at the boy's arrogance, and start walking away. Just then, the sound of music echoes through the street. The girls follow it and discover the same boys performing on a nearby stage, singing and dancing for a crowd of excited fans. This new idol group calls themselves the Saja Boys. The crowd screams with joy, but the hunters instantly recognize the truth. They whisper to each other, "These boys are not human, they are demons in disguise." Rumi's eyes harden as she declares that they must be stopped before more innocent fans lose their souls. Determined, the girls prepare to strike. But before they can act, the Saja Boys sense their presence. Right in the middle of their TV show, the demons turn the tables and forcefully pull the hunters onto the stage. Smiling under the spotlight, the girls pretend everything is fine for the crowd's sake, hiding their anger. When the show finally ends, the girls race after the demons, chasing them into a large bathhouse. There, the hunters summon their magical weapons, ready to fight. But before the battle begins, Jinu himself steps out of the shadows. With a wave of his hand, he opens several dark portals, and from those portals, countless water demons pour into the room, spilling out of sinks, drains, and even bathtubs. The battle begins at once. Rumi chases Jinu directly, and for a moment, she nearly corners him. Meanwhile, her friends slash through the endless wave of demons, struggling to keep up. Rumi notices that with every passing second, the on-moon barrier flickers weaker, letting more monsters slip into the human world. Rage surges within her, and she throws herself at Jinu with everything she has. But during the fight, Jinu sees the demonic patterns crawling across her skin. His eyes widen in shock. How could one of the hunters be carrying the blood of demons? For a moment, she cannot move. Then, something unexpected happens. Jinu, the demon she was fighting, rushes toward her. He pulls her close, wrapping her in a hug, and quickly tears a strip of cloth to cover her torn costume, hiding the scars from sight. Without another word, he slips away into the shadows. The instant her secret is safe again, Rumi regains her courage. She races back to her struggling friends, lifts them up, and together the three hunters unleash their combined power. Their songs and weapons tear through the monsters, defeating every last one of them. The battle is brutal, but together, they kill all the demons. But just when they think it's over, a demon hidden in the shadows attacks. With one swipe, it rips the soul out of the old man's body. Back at headquarters, the three of them stare at the city skyline, their hearts heavy with worry. The on-moon barrier is weaker than ever, its golden light dimming. Then their manager enters, holding his phone with a grim look. He shows them the latest news. The Saja Boys are everywhere on social media. Their popularity is spreading like wildfire, and every fan they gain steals more energy from the Han Moon. Rumi's jaw tightens. She declares that it is time for them to fight back not only with weapons but with music. They must create their next hit song, one powerful enough to crush the demon's influence and restore the Han Moon before it is too late. Later that night, Rumi steps out onto her balcony to breathe in the cool air. But her quiet moment is interrupted when a large, terrifying demon bird swoops down from the sky, and beside it is circling Jinu's demon tiger. The beast holds a letter in its mouth and drops it at Rumi's feet. When she unfolds the note, she sees an invitation from Jinu himself. He asks her to meet him that night. Before she can even react, the bird and the tiger go back to demonic world. Rumi hesitates, torn between fear and curiosity, but in the end, she makes her choice. She will go. When she arrives at the meeting place, she wastes no time and launches a sudden attack at Jinu. But it was a decoy set by Jinu, leaving her stunned. She tries again, determined to fight, but Jinu remains calm. He says he only came to talk. In a low voice, he reveals that everything happening in her life, the pain, the scars, the chaos, is the work of the demon lord, Guima. Jinu confesses that long ago his own soul was imprisoned by Guima, binding him into the demon's service. Then he looks at Rumi and asks how she received the demonic marks on her arms. But Rumi refuses to answer. She attacks again. But before her strike can land, Jinu vanishes into the night, leaving her alone. Days pass, and the hunters pour their energy into creating their new song. Between rehearsals, they continue hunting the demons spilling into the city from the weak spots in the Hanmoon. But Rumi's troubles deepen. Jinu's demonic tiger begins to follow her everywhere. One afternoon, the group hosts an autograph session for their loyal fans, but the event takes a sudden twist when the Saja boys appear at the same place. The tension is unbearable, but Rumi quickly decides that they cannot afford to fight in front of their fans. To calm everyone, she suggests both groups sit together for the signing. Smiling for the cameras, they sign posters side by side. Whispers begin spreading through the crowd, and soon rumors fly across the internet. Fans are convinced that maybe there's some romance happening between the two groups. Later, that night, Rumi sits alone in her room writing lyrics. The demonic tiger lurks nearby. When her friends enter suddenly, Rumi scrambles to hide the creature before they see it. She realizes she cannot keep this secret forever. Accepting that, she makes up her mind to meet Jinu once again. Meanwhile, the city grows darker each day. Demons are becoming bolder and stronger, capturing human souls across entire neighborhoods. People begin disappearing, and panic spreads among the survivors. Finally, Rumi finds Jinu again. This time, she doesn't fight. She tells him she has discovered a way to break free of Guima's chains. She explains that when the golden Hanmoon shines completely, the demon lord's influence on the human world will end. Rumi proposes that if Jinu helps the hunters gain more fans and grow stronger, they can forge a connection so powerful that it will create an unbreakable barrier. That barrier could imprison Guima forever. She adds that if Jinu truly wants freedom, he could help them build the golden Hanmoon and then live as a human, no longer bound to darkness. Jinu listens quietly, thinking deeply. At that moment, a kind old bracelet seller approaches Rumi and gives her a handmade bracelet. Rumi gently holds it up and tells Jinu to keep it, insisting that the only way forward, for both of them, is to fight the demon lord together. Days later, the hunters rehearse on stage for their upcoming performance. But during the session, Rumi suddenly rejects the lyrics she is given. Her strange behavior shocks her friends, and they begin questioning what is happening to her. Before she can explain, the entire stage shakes violently. A shockwave rips through the air, signaling the arrival of something far worse than before, a massive horde of demons. Without hesitation, they abandon their rehearsal and race out, leaving their manager behind. The three sprint to the top of a subway station where chaos is already erupting. Demons pour through the tunnels, attacking the trains filled with passengers. Without a moment to waste, the hunters unleash their voices and weapons, filling the air with their new song. Their melodies weaken the monsters, but the battle is brutal. One of them unleashes a powerful double combo move, slamming her weapon into the ground with incredible force. A wave of magic explodes outward, wiping out the demons all around her. The battlefield falls silent. When the girls leave the subway compartment, they see the horrible truth. Every single passenger has already had their soul stolen by the demons. As the train finally arrives at the station, Rumi's two friends walk away in sorrow, believing she is right behind them. But Rumi does not follow. Hours later, Rumi is face to face with Jinu once again. This time, their meeting feels different. As they talk, Rumi admits something she has not told anyone, that ever since she started spending time with him, her voice has begun to return. To test it, they sing a song together. Their voices blend perfectly, and when the song ends, Jinu suddenly realizes something incredible. He can no longer hear Guima's voice echoing in his mind. For the first time in years, his head feels free. Overwhelmed by this, Jinu finally makes a decision. He tells Rumi he will help her, and he promises that in their next concert, he will sabotage his own group's fame so that the hunters can rise again. Rumi smiles with relief and joy, finally feeling hope again. Just as Jinu turns to leave, a shadowy force drags him violently back into the infernal world of demons. He is thrown at the feet of Guima, who is waiting for him. With a cruel smile, the demon lord forces Jinu to see his past again. The memory of how Jinu abandoned his own family when they needed him most. Jinu trembles in panic as the painful memory plays in front of him. Guima whispers that he can erase this suffering forever, just as he promised. but the price will be Jinu's complete obedience. Broken and desperate, Jinu realizes he has no choice but to submit once again. The next day, Rumi and her friends gather together, determined to fight back. They decide that a new, powerful song must be chosen for their upcoming concert. By evening, the stadium is filled once more, millions of fans screaming with excitement. The presenter hypes up the crowd, preparing them for a spectacular show. As the hunters make their way to their dressing room, they cross paths with Jinu and the Saja boys. Rumi notices instantly that something has changed. Jinu's eyes are colder, his expression distant and serious, as if the warmth she once saw in him is gone. The presenter announces the Saja boys' performance, but before anything begins, the lights of the entire stadium suddenly go out. The fans scream in confusion, waving their glow sticks in the dark. Moments later, the manager rushes in, his face pale but determined. He tells the hunters that the other group has just been involved in a fight on stage, and this is their big chance to win back all their fans. Hearing this, the girls' spirits ignite with hope. They run to the stage and burst into their performance, dazzling the crowd with their music and energy. For a moment, it feels like they are unstoppable again. As the song continues, Rumi's two friends step off stage to let her give a solo performance. But before they can return, they see their manager being dragged away by security guards. Without hesitation, they chase after him to save him. But the moment they reach him, the horrifying truth is revealed. The security guards are not humans. They are demons in disguise, shapeshifters who have tricked them. The lights in the room flicker and then die, plunging everything into darkness. Suddenly, a new song begins to play. Rumi recognizes the lyrics instantly, and her heart drops. They are the very same lyrics she had rejected only yesterday. Before she can react, two demons disguised as her friends start circling her like predators, mocking and tormenting her, trying to humiliate her in front of everyone. Then, with one violent motion, they rip open her costume. The audience gasps in horror as Rumi's demonic scars are revealed under the bright spotlights. The whispers turn into screams. Rumi cries out, but her voice shatters into a high-pitched, demonic scream, so powerful that it bursts the spotlights above her. Terrified, she runs, trying to escape the shame. But when she turns to her friends for help, they freeze in fear. Even her closest companions are too scared to approach her. Rumi pleads with them, her voice breaking, shouting, "Please don't leave me!" But instead of comforting her, they raise their weapons, ready to defend themselves as if she were just another demon. Heartbroken, Rumi stumbles away into the night. She finds Jinu and confronts him, her eyes filled with tears. She asks why he betrayed her, why he destroyed everything. Jinu looks at her coldly and admits the truth. Everything he ever said to her was a lie. He tells her she must accept the reality because nothing can ever change him now. With those final cruel words, Jinu turns his back on her and walks away. Alone in the shadows, Rumi breaks down. Her heart is crushed, and she begins to believe that everything happening, the chaos, the monsters, the pain, is all her fault. As Rumi walks away, a black crack suddenly tears open in the air behind her, spreading like a wound in reality. At the same time, her two friends realize in horror that the Han Moon barrier is collapsing completely. Moments later, the Saja boys appear on every giant screen across the city. Jinu's face is cold and confident, as he declares that the hunters are finished after the recent accident, and that his group will now perform a grand tribute to them. He invites everyone to gather at the towering Great Soul Tower for their next concert. Before anyone can even question what is happening, a strange humming voice begins to echo inside the minds of Rumi's friends and their manager. Their eyes glaze over as the sinister melody robs them of free will. Like mindless fans, they join the crowd marching toward the tower. Meanwhile, inside, Jinu and the Saja boys prepare for the Great Demon Banquet, a great feast of hundreds of thousands of souls for Demon Lord Guima. As the stage lights blaze, they reveal their true demonic forms and begin their performance. The hypnotized audience sways to the song, completely under their control. With every note, Guima grows larger and more powerful, feeding on the energy of the enslaved fans. His laughter rumbles through the stadium as the demonic group floats into the air. The audience begins walking closer to the stage, ready to be sacrificed. But just when all hope seems lost, Rumi bursts into the stadium. She raises her voice in song, and her powerful voice alone shatters the performance, halting the hypnosis. Guima growls with amusement, mocking her, declaring that nothing can stop his victory now. But Rumi refuses to yield. She sings again, her voice pure and unstoppable, breaking the spell completely and freeing her friends. Reunited, the three hunters stand side by side and unleash their harmony together. Furious, Guima summons thousands of monsters, filling the stage with darkness and terror. But the three warriors are fearless. Their weapons glow with the strength of Hanmoon, and they cut through the demonic army with precision and rage. Every slash, every note of their voices reinforces the magical barrier, reigniting its golden light. Their bond, their courage, and their voices grow stronger with each strike. As they fight, their costumes suddenly transform into the true armor of the chosen hunters. Together, they soar back onto the stage. But Guima refuses to fall quietly. Absorbing the last fragments of power from the remaining demons, he conjures a massive fireball of hellfire and hurls it straight at Rumi. At the same time, the Saja boys attack her two friends, striking with deadly force. At the very last moment, Jinu intervenes. He shields Rumi from the fireball, sacrificing himself. Mortally wounded, he apologizes for every sin he committed, for every lie and betrayal. Rumi, her voice trembling, begs him not to leave her, saying, she needs him. Jinu smiles faintly, telling her that he has already found his freedom. With his final breath, he gives his soul to her. His energy, pure and glowing, flows into Rumi, filling her with unimaginable power. Rumi roars with fury and unleashes a devastating attack that slices Guima in two. But she does not stop there. She channels all the love, all the hope of their fans worldwide, and strikes again. An even greater surge of radiant energy that obliterates the Demon Lord forever. Meanwhile, her two friends unleash their full strength, cutting down every last member of the Saja boys, ensuring that no trace of their evil remains. With Guima destroyed, the Hanmoon bursts back to life. Its golden barrier spreads across the entire world, glowing brighter than ever before, sealing humanity away from demons once and for all. The darkness is gone, and light finally returns. The crowd erupts in applause, their cheers echoing through the stadium and across the city. The three girls embrace one another, smiling with relief and triumph. Their mission is complete. They have defeated the greatest threat the world has ever faced. With tears of joy and pride shining in their eyes, the hunters stand victorious, and with this, the movie comes to an end. On IMDb, this movie has been rated by 69,000 people and has an average rating of 7.6. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe for more interesting videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.